In last video, we have seen the way how we pass the data from from child class constructor to the parent class constructor. We are using the base keyword. Through the base keyword, we are passing the data. Now let's remove the this base reference in the child constructor. So once I remove the base reference in the child constructor, I am getting the compile time error. There is no argument given that corresponds to the required parameter name of parent.parent. Before we are going to fix the compile time error, first let's try to understand some few points in the main thread. Okay, so we know that I have removed the base class reference in the constructor level. That's fine. Now come to the main thread here. So when I'm going to use the main thread, as of for namesaking, I'm just let me comment this code. Let's concentrate on the only this line. Okay. So once I'm going to creating the child class object, okay, whether you can forget the whether the child class object having the parameter less or parameters, that's fine. Okay, but whenever I'm creating the you know object of the class child class, first of all, the constructor which is in the parent will be gets fired. Okay, the constructor is means the parameterless constructor will get fired. Okay, so here in this case I don't have the any parameterless constructor in the parent. So due to that reason, here in the child class we are seeing the compile time error. So first of all, let's fix this issue. Okay, so now let me prepare the one parameterless constructor here. I'm giving the one kind of statement, that is the parent class constructor without parameters, and here I'm writing the with parameters, let's say name and age parameters. Fine. Now come to the again main thread. So now once I'm going to prepare this statement, once I'm going to create the object, what is happening here in the sense, the first step is this parameterless constructor will gets fired. This one, the parent of the constructor, it gets fired, and then whatever child constructor, then it will be fired. Okay, so now let's execute the code. So now if I'm going to F11, so anyway by default it will be hit to the child constructor here, but that implementation it won't be work out, just it will come to the line number 35. Okay, so again F11, if I'm going to print, so it's come to the parent constructor, and then you see this, I'm executing the parent constructor. So now if you see the output, that is a parent class constructor without parameters. Okay, so now again if I'm going to press F10, I mean next step, now it will go to the next, in the sense it will go to the child constructor. Okay, so in this way you have to understand. Now again, what if I'm going to prepare the base keyword? So now back to the base with the name and age parameters. So in this case, what we can understand in the sense, now my child class constructor is referring to the base class constructor, that is parent with the parameter constructor. So in this case, what will be happen, right? This parent constructor, it won't be fired because of I am referring here. Okay, right, I'm referring the explicitly I'm telling that Okay, explicitly I'm referring to the compiler, I'm giving the guidance to the compiler, fire this constructor. Okay, so keep in mind one difference. If I'm going to remove this statement, so due to this reason, in case if I don't have the any reference, okay, then in this case, this parameter less constructor will be fired. Okay, so again, if you trigger here after putting the, after keeping the base name with age parameters, you see the output. So let me execute the code. So press F11, you see that base name is, it is come to here, and then it's going to parent with the parameter constructors which having the name and age. So it's getting fired. Now again back to the child constructor. Okay, so now it's getting fired. You see that there is no call of the parameter less constructor of the parent. And one more thing we have to observe, that is the limitation of the inheritance. Okay, so as of now, this child, okay, having the relationship, that is the parent, I mean child is communicating to the parent. So if I'm going to provide the one more class for the reference to the child, that will cause the issue. Okay, so for example, I am preparing the one class, let's say test class. Okay, so now let me give the reference this test class to the child. Now you see that here we are seeing the some compile time error, that is class child cannot have multiple base classes. Okay, so always whenever I'm going to prepare the child, you should use the only one class reference, I mean one base class reference. You can't create the multiple base classes to the child. Okay, that means a child class cannot have the multiple parent classes. Okay, so let me remove this test class over here so that you can't see the any compile time error.